Hello, everybody, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the podcast where all pro wrestling matters. I am your host, Bill, joined as always by Fro. How you doing, Fro?
I promise I will be more in this podcast than last time.
Yeah, to remind everyone, Fro's Mac was acting up last week, so
Yeah, it crashed.
it did. It did. I'm gonna be straight up honest with everyone here. Pardon me. I did not watch any new wrestling this week.
Nice. I did.
Boy, are you the lucky one?
Yeah.
The reason is, I'm on vacation and they don't have the channels, and I just found other stuff to do, so I have not
You
been
seem
driven.
art unknown again.
Not really. I'm not in parts unknown, but just don't have cable, which I'm okay with.
Nice.
Yeah. There is a lot of wrestling news to discuss, so why don't we get into it? And we will start with I guess we could officially call it developing but confirmed news. After weeks of trying to figure out where SummerSlam is going to be held, WWE has announced that SummerSlam will be held in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, what a surprise!
But not at the Performance Center. It will be
Really?
It will be held at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida for next Sunday night. They are also going to do, according to reports, future WWE broadcasts at the arena.
Yeah, welcome to the generation that doesn't give two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it PG.
Okay. Well, I mean, to think about this, for a few weeks, there had been talks that they'd wanted to go to Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, I might see that happening because it's New Jersey. Didn't go that way. I think I had said on the show previously they thought maybe Rhode Island or New Hampshire. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Orlando is basically the only logical place that they could go at this point. They could only stick to their home area right now. But I did read, and this part is very interesting, and I'd love to have your thoughts on this. They are considering having LED boards in the stands and have the audience at home be sort of like a virtual audience, and they would be on these LED boards.
Yeah. No, that's not ever going to work. Ever. People will misuse it. However you try to monetize it. If you don't make it completely 110% fake, you could. But if it's going to be live, you have no fucking control of people showing up naked or anything.
Yeah, you have no way of stopping people promoting stuff, you know?
Right.
I know.
I have seen it done.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is where we've seen it, it works.
Yeah.
Whereas with WWE, and I think wrestling in general, I don't think it would work. I just don't think it would really work. It's going to be interesting how it looks. I'll say that when they present it next week. So, but they've got their arena. Who knows how long they're going to use it? Vince was probably like, I'm tired of being in the same place for 5-6 months. And they could do a good job in the performance center cleaning the heck out of that place. You know, getting rid of all the germs and stuff. Make it,
Yeah.
make it possible for them not to get anybody sick. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Wait and see. So I missed Impact this week.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the good things about Impact this week?
I don't know. I think the main event was amazing.
What was the main event this week?
Do I remember that, do you think?
No.
No. Do I remember anything?
No.
I'm surprised I wake up and remember my name.
I'm surprised you wake up and remember anyone.
Were you?
Exactly.
No, but what was the main event?
I'm looking it up
I'm trying.
now.
I'm trying to think. But...
Oh, okay, I got it. Main event was Eddie Edwards defending the Impact title against Brian Myers. Ooh.
Yeah, that was cool. NXT was good this week. I didn't especially like AEW, but
right,
they're kind of in a strange phase right now, so it's like it feels they're building up to something bigger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have All Out coming up in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So they could be building up to that.
So it's next week Summerslam is?
Yeah, next weekend is SummerSlam and also NXT, so we'll highlight those next week.
I'm looking forward to a pay-per-view again.
Yeah, and you actually have a main event that is going to be a good main event, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think most of the matches looks okay this time. Well, there's one match I'm not really looking forward to.
Let me take a look at the card real quick. I'm not going to read what the card is.
You can.
So,
you can.
Hold on. Shows. Let me take a look.
So other than that, what have you done lately?
What have I done lately? You know, I've been playing some Nintendo as of late.
Ooh, Nintendo Switch or what?
No, the regular Nintendo.
Nintendo 64.
No, not the 64. The NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yes. Okay.
You know what? It's been pretty fun. I've been playing some games that I haven't played in years, and I've actually gone farther than I used to, so that's pretty good. No, it's been pretty good up where I've been. So, went to play mini golf yesterday and won. So,
ooh,
haven't done that in a long time. And went out the last couple nights, look out at the stars. Can't find any shooting stars. Everyone else can, but I can't for some reason.
Aww.
But that's another story for another day.
So yeah, did you find out what was the card?
Yeah, I did. It actually looks like a good card.
Yeah.
I'm probably am looking forward to this SummerSlam after seeing the card.
What is the card? Let's talk about it 2 seconds.
All right, because we're not going to make our predictions today.
No.
We'll make our predictions next week. Main event is Randy Orton challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE title.
Yeah, that is not going to be good. But,
Street Profits defend the Raw tag titles against Andrade and Angel Garza. That should be a good match.
Yes.
Dominic Mysterio against Seth Rollins.
So, yes, Dominic is back. That is so good.
I saw the pictures of him getting caned. Holy crap, that kid took a beating. Oh my God.
Yeah. But it is nice to see that he's following his father's footsteps.
Apollo Crews against MVP for the U.S. title.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
That
Believe it or
should be
not.
a good match.
Uh,
Braun Strowman against Bray Wyatt. The Fiend versus the Monster for the Universal title.
mm-hmm.
And Sasha Banks defends the Raw Women's title against Asuka.
Yeah. And he's never ever going to lose.
You know what? I'm looking at this card right now. There's not one bad match on this card.
The main event.
I think that's going to be really good. I really think that's going to be a good match.
Okay. Randy
And
Snorton.
Drew. Now, I did read also about Retribution and their tricks that they did this week. The throwing of the cinder block through like what probably was like a couple feet window. I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna really scare everybody. Ooh. Like, okay, do you remember? And I know I talked to Jim about this story. Maybe you and I covered this story about a year or two ago. You remember there was a video that came out in Mexico, and this one wrestler, for no reason, threw a cinder block at another wrestler, and it just knocked that guy out. Do you remember that story?
No.
No.
But I don't remember what I watched on TV yesterday without a list in front of me.
That's true. I think Retribution needs to go to that Mexican wrestler to teach them how to throw a cinder block. So. Oh man, but I'll say this. This, and I'm being totally honest with everyone. This is the first week in God knows how many years where I've gone without watching new live TV wrestling. And it felt so good.
It is nice to have a break sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I haven't watched WWE since we watched the pay-per-view. So.
Right. And
I keep an eye on the results. That's kind of what I do.
And I think after last week's Raw, I needed that because it was so bad. So
yeah,
it felt good. It felt good.
But yeah, let's talk about the news so we can get over with this because I have things to do.
All right, yeah, because next week is the big week. So, Shotzi Blackheart, she had her car stolen, and not only was her car stolen, but also her ring gear. Well, the police recovered her stolen car and her ring gear. She put out a tweet on August 13th saying, I was super busy last night, so I didn't have time to update y'all on my car and helmet, but here you go. And then there's a video clip where she says that they found the car and her ring gear. So, hey, at least she didn't really lose anything. She got it back. So, don't like to hear those kind of stories, but it's interesting every once in a while. You get those weird stories.
Yeah, and I like her. She's a nice lady.
All Elite Wrestling, they did a first this week. They released talent. AEW has come to terms on the release of Jimmy Havoc, Bea Priestley, and Sadie Gibbs. I will say with Jimmy Havoc, that's the bigger of the three. Only because he was on TV for a while before the speaking out movement happened. And he was actually being shown prominently on a weekly basis with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. And after that, he started to have some mental issues, and he went to rehab. And I guess he's still there or has just never recovered, and AEW was like, we're going to let you go. with Bea Priestley and Sadie Gibbs, they've been stuck in England. So there's nothing they can do. There's nothing AEW can really do. They might bring both of the women back in the future. That's my guess. I might see maybe Jimmy Havoc may come back. I'm not really sure, but I'm more confident to me that the women will be back in AEW before Jimmy Havoc is. That's just my opinion.
Any reason for that?
I think AEW would be the type of promotion that would give both of them a second chance and be like, we really didn't get to use you the right way the first time around. The COVID was a big part of it. I think, we could give you a second chance and be able to use you more. So that's just how I look at it. But I could be wrong. It could be other reasons. Could be many other reasons. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
If you have the WWE Network, this weekend might actually be a very busy viewing weekend for you, as WWE Network is going to put out independent wrestling content this weekend for the very first time. They will be putting out content from Evolve Wrestling, WXW over in Germany, Progress Wrestling in England, and Insane Championship Wrestling from Scotland. For Evolve Wrestling, they have two compilations that they're going to be putting out. The Best of Drew McIntyre in Evolve and the Best of Keith Lee in Evolve. Those actually could be pretty good. Those could be fun to watch. WXW, they're going to have two shows put up. Femme Fatales 2019 and WXW Ambition 11. Progress Wrestling will have Chapter 92. And Insane Championship Wrestling will have ICW Shug's Hoose Party 5 Night 2. And yes, it is Hoose Party. Hoose. Have you ever been to a Hoose party before?
No.
No, neither have I. I've never been to a Hoose party. I've been to a house party. I've never been to a Hoose party. No. But no, it's going to be very interesting. They talked about this for a long time with putting other promotion content up there, and this is the first opportunity, and let's see how it goes. I think they're going to have people watch it. We'll wait and see how it turns out. Ring of Honor has announced that they will be taping within this month. They will be doing TV tapings, believed to be in Baltimore. Ring of Honor sent out a release noting that they are going to be producing new wrestling shows in August from Maryland, working with the State Athletic Commission. The company has consulted with doctors with the commission and from the mixed martial arts world regarding the best measures to run safely in a COVID-19 world. They're going to do regular testing and try to replicate what UFC did as close as financially feasible. There will be no fans nor any non-essential staff at the tapings. The talent that will be there have been told they will do a 14-day quarantine before the date, and that may mean several people are going to be pulled from independent dates that they were already booked on. This is sort of the last of the major promotions. Keyword being sort of, because there's another one that we're going to talk about in a moment that'll be back soon. I know when we talked with Jim, you and I, a while back, he talked about one of the questions that we did. in the PWI poll a while back. Which promotion do you think has handled the COVID crisis the best? And Jim said that he felt Ring of Honor had done the best because they weren't doing any shows, and also they were paying their people.
Yeah.
Of course, I live about 30, 40 minutes away from Baltimore. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do this. The new shows will air in September at some point. It's going to be interesting what they do and how they do it. I'm looking forward to this. Ring of Honor was slowly starting to get their momentum back, I thought, before the COVID. And now we'll see what they can do, and I think they're doing this the right way. The other news, the other comeback news, I guess we can say, with wrestling is that the NWA will be coming back. There was a press release this week stating that the NWA will be working together with the United Wrestling Network, UWN, and they're going to be doing a live Tuesday night show every Tuesday night. And it's going to air, it's going to be a 90-minute show, and it's going to air on Fight TV. It'll be a pay-per-view as well. And it's going to start on September the 15th. So I guess for the time being, NWA Power is... It's not done. They haven't canceled Power. They're just going to put it away for a little bit. Maybe bring it back at a later date. But how do you... Okay, because I know by the time when this show airs, this new Tuesday show, you'll be in bed. It'll be like 2 in the morning, I think. 3 in the morning.
Right.
When it starts.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this combination, really, of the NWA and the United Wrestling Network coming together to do a live weekly TV show?
I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good thing for competition. Don't you agree?
Oh, I do. Because the only other competition that they're going to be dealing with on Tuesday night is Impact, and those shows are taped. So, the only thing I'm wondering about is the price. How much is it going to cost?
Yeah.
They haven't put out a price yet. If they do, I'm thinking it's going to be a low price, so it'll be affordable for everyone to watch. So, maybe, you know what? Maybe it'll turn out for the best. Maybe it'll turn out for the best.
Have you seen a trailer for a movie this week?
Have I seen a trailer for a movie this week?
About David Arquette?
Oh, I was starting to watch that, and I got cut off for some reason. I don't remember, but I did see a little bit of it.
Okay. I really have to take a phone. Sorry.
It's okay. While you do that, I'm going to talk about James Harris,
Hello.
a.k.a. Kamala, who passed away this week. He had a lot of health issues, and this week we found out that he passed away, and then we also found out that he did get COVID-19, and he had gone into cardiac arrest and passed away on Sunday at the age of 70 years old. Kamala, from what I've heard, was a wonderful, nice guy. Was just generally nice. There were a couple people he didn't like, but he wasn't really into that. Of course, the story with the character with Kamala, it was Jerry Lawler's idea coming up with the Kamala character and the name, and the way they did like the promo for Kamala's debut. If you've never heard the story, it's an interesting story. Is they shot the promo for Kamala's debut in Jerry Lawler's backyard, which was very, very interesting. And I think Lawler also had the mask that Kamala would eventually wear to the ring for many, many years. And, he was able to live off for a good while on the Kamala name. And from like the early 80s all the way to the mid 90s, he went to just about every territory, every promotion you can think of. And he fought the biggest names. He went to Memphis, he went to Mid-South, he went to WWF, he went to Crockett, eventually to WCW. He wrestled in some of the biggest places, and he was a believable monster. Kamala was. And he was in, technically, the first casket match ever with The Undertaker at Survivor Series 92. And he was one of the few people that body slammed Andre the Giant, which is a pretty impressive feat. I think it's up on the WWE Network. They have the steel cage match of Kamala and Andre the Giant up there, so check that out if you guys get a chance. But
I sent you a link to the trailer.
Oh, okay. I will watch that when the show's over.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a very good and fun documentary about David Arquette.
Yeah. But to finish up with Kamala, because I just wanted to pay a little bit of respect to Kamala.
Yeah, sure.
He's a guy who, while he never won like the WWF title or the WCW title, was still a very fascinating character. And actually, one of my favorite stories was from one of his former managers, Skandar Akbar. When Kamala was wrestling, this woman got so mad at what Kamala and Skandar Akbar were doing. And this is not a joke. This is a legit thing, what I'm about to say. The woman threw her baby at Skandar Akbar.
Wow.
I mean, you could not get away with that today. Oh my God. There's no way you'd be able to get away with that today. Throwing a baby at a person. But, Kamala's been in poor health for a long time. He had lost his legs. I think he did lose both of his legs. Had diabetes, and then COVID came, and then he went into cardiac arrest, and unfortunately, he passed away on Sunday. Wrestling world's going to really miss probably one of the more underrated big guys in the history of the business in Kamala. Fro, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to... Well, actually, there's two more things. One is going to be when we talk about it during our plugs.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the Velveteen Dream back on TV?
I don't know.
I mean, when I read it, I was just like, oh, it's a good thing I'm not watching today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to really dig deep into it because it's not really worth digging deep into it. It's like beating a dead horse. But just...
Yeah, no, I'm very, very disappointed.
I'm going to say something controversial here. I thought about this, and I'm going to say it anyway. I think, and I'm going to explain my reason why. I think WWE bringing Velveteen Dream back on the TV is worse than the Chris Benoit tribute on Raw.
Really?
And
Why?
I'll tell you why. When Chris Benoit died, we didn't have all the information at the time. We didn't know what happened to him. We didn't know what happened to his wife. We didn't know what happened to his son. We had no idea at the time. With Velveteen Dream, we all read every news report that came out, and there was an audio clip. I'd heard the audio clip, and I'm like, yeah, that's him. That's definitely him. And yet, they bring him back on television. They're going to lose a lot of fans out of this. Or at least for NXT, they're going to lose a lot of fans. And what's interesting is, next week, AEW is not airing against NXT. They're going to be airing on a Saturday night. So NXT is going to be the only show on. And it's going to be interesting to see how many thousands of people do watch NXT if the number either goes up, stays the same, or goes down dramatically. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of them bringing back Velveteen Dream.
No.
Really, I'm really worried.
No, and like I said, you know how much I love that guy.
Oh, yeah,
his wrestling ability. And I am very disappointed in them bringing him back.
And I think it's safe to say we're not. It's not like the wrestler we don't like, because he's a good wrestler.
Huh. Yeah.
It's just the person is a piece of trash, you know. So it's I just a bad call by WWE. Really was. Well, I think on that note, we're going to wrap it up for this week. It's sort of a short show, which is okay because next week's going to be an even bigger show. But let's get into our quick plugs. If you have any emails if you have any questions or comments, send an email, wrestlingman@thatwrestlingshow.com. Follow the show on Twitter @WrestlingShow11. Follow us on Instagram @ThatWrestlingShow. Join our Facebook group, That Wrestling Show Fan Group. Check out our merchandise at teespring.com/store/That Wrestling Show Podcast. And check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/That Wrestling Show, which is where I want to do another brief discussion with you, Fro. And I'm going to issue a challenge. Not to you. Not to you.
Okay.
But to our listeners. Because I've thought about this. And I think I want to do something. But the only way we can do this is if we can get to 10 if we can reach up to 10 patrons. So my challenge is to you guys. I'm going to give you till SummerSlam. That's 9 days. I would like to see new patrons join our Patreon group. And you could join for any rate. $1, $2, or $3. If we can reach up to 10 patrons by the end of SummerSlam, Fro, you and I are going to review something.
Oh no, what?
I have a video. It is of an old show. It's not this used to air here on NBC. I have an episode of Friday Night Videos guest hosted by Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon. And you and I are going to review the episode. But we have to get to 10 patrons. And if we get to 10, we'll put it up at the $1 tier so everybody can listen. So if we can reach 10 by the end of SummerSlam, we will review that for you guys as a special thank you. And if we don't, then I can't torture Fro. Which is what I love to do.
Nice.
What did you guys discuss on Another Digital Citizen this week?
Oh, we talked about so much interesting thing this week. I don't remember, but check it out.
All right. I don't have my usual list of stuff to plug or describe, so I'll just say just real quickly listen to our Vantage Point Retro Wrestling Podcast, Greetings from Allentown, Juice Pro Wrestling, the Best Pick Podcast, the Castle Vault, listen to Last Stop Penn Station, listen to those podcasts. They are really, really good. And this Sunday, a new watch-along will be up where myself and Jim are joined by Angry Cooter as we watch SummerSlam 1991.
Ooh.
That I will say that was one of the best episodes we have taped. So check that out. Next week, it is going to be a longer show than today's show, which is okay because I really didn't watch anything, and Fro doesn't really remember. So next week,
my mind is blown because it's so fucking warm in Norway that.
Next week, we are going to preview SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver 30. We will make our predictions for every match on those two shows. Plus, we will get to the weekly news and anything else that happens, we'll let you guys know. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of That Wrestling Show. Everybody stay safe, stay cool, and come back next week for the biggest podcast party of the summer for our previews of SummerSlam and NXT. And until then, you've been listening to That Wrestling Show, the podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always,
keep cool, stay in school.
Wrestle on.